Yo, what's good? We back with CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today I was I was online reading an article. I wish I could remember, because I'm online reading so much about prison reform and prison issues that I can't even remember. I can't even give you the source. I can't cite the source today. But I was reading about how Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa was trying to pass a bipartisan bill to lessen the punishment for nonviolent crimes. And in contrast to that, how Jeff Sessions and a few other Republicans were actually trying to fight that. And their reason for not wanting to reduce sentencing was because they felt like they needed the threat of harsher punishment and longer sentences to reduce the crime. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, like, if it hasn't worked so far, let's try something else, because actually, instead of reducing the crime, what it does is it puts the person in a mind state that it changes your mind state. A person with a little bit of time has a different mind state than a person that has a lot of time, a lengthier sentence. For example, when I first came to Connecticut, I caught a bid for selling drugs. Same MO. That's what I was known to do. I was about to say that's what I do. That's what I was known to do. Sell drugs and occasionally guns. And I was given 3 years. So my mindset going in was, I want to come in here, do my little bit of time, and get out of here. I wasn't looking to start no trouble with nobody. I wasn't looking to catch no tickets. If I could, I was trying to avoid trouble and avoid tickets by any means possible, because that could be the reason why I turned my 3 into a 5 or my 5 into a 7. I've seen that. I had a homie, the homie Mert. Shout out to the homie Mert from Norwalk. Had a homie come in, and I believe he had a 9-month bid, or maybe an 18-month, even 9 or 18 months. But he turned it into a few years. Turned a couple months into a couple years. And I was like, that ain't gonna be me. I'm gonna come do my little bit of time. Before they know it, I'm gonna be up out of here. Now, fast forward a little bit to this previous bid that I just came off of. And the bid that I'm in a halfway house on parole for right now, I just was sentenced to a 20-year sentence. 12 years in jail. And my mindset was, I got all this time. I ain't going for nothing. I'm going to come up in here. I'm going to make sure that I'm comfortable. I'm going to make sure that I live the way I want to live. And if not, it's whatever. Whatever's happens, happens. I didn't care. Because it was like, I'm here already. I'm here with a 20-year sentence. Like, well, I'm already here. What could you do? What more could you do to me? And it's crazy because I remember my lawyer telling me that when he first told me what I was looking at, I couldn't believe it, because I was in a prison with lifers already. Like, I had a bunkie that had 45 years. Shout out to my man Moon, too. big bro had 45 years. I had a couple dudes that I frequent with, dudes that I eat with, that I work out with, play chess with, play Scrabble with, or just kick it with, you know what I mean? Had life bids, life sentences, and wasn't coming home from them. But in my head, the difference between me and these dudes is these guys was all in here for murder, you know? And I felt like I'm straight because I didn't kill anybody. So in my head, I'm telling myself, I just did 3 years for the same charge. I got caught with a little more drugs than I got caught with last time. And then I got guns and I had guns in the apartment too. So in my head, I'm like, well, if they gave me 3 for the last bit, I'm probably looking at like 5. And I actually walked. I remember the first time I went that my lawyer came to see me. They called me down. They said, Smith, you got to visit. I go down. I go walk in my lawyer's office. I got a smirk on my face. I'm still thinking this is a game. Got a smirk on my face. I sit down. I said, I'll take 5 years right now. Because in my previous experiences, I know that you throw out an offer out there and then we'll try to work around that offer. So I figure if I say 5, he'll say 7 or 8. They looking at, then we'll probably meet in the middle. That's how it was working in my head. I don't know. I wasn't privy of the laws. So when I told him that, he wiped that smile right off my face and was like, Mr. Smith, I don't think you understand the magnitude of the trouble that you're in. So I'm like, well, what you mean? I got caught with drugs and guns. Didn't hurt nobody with it. So what's the worst that could happen? I remember asking him that. And he literally told me, the worst that could happen is you will never get out of here. And I still didn't take him serious. I'm like, come on, man, for real? And he had to really print up some paperwork. And he printed up some paperwork and he sent me a lot of the Connecticut laws. And the first page, what caught my eye was, and he underlined it too, in Connecticut, if you were caught with more than 1 ounce of crack cocaine, you can do up to 60 years in prison. 1 ounce is only 28 grams. I was caught with way more than 1 ounce. So that's when I started saying, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And then we actually waived the hearing for 60 years. So now I'm going to court. He said, we're going to waive the hearing for 60. They're not going to do that. They're not going to give you 60 years for drugs. And the prosecutor was like, you right, we're not going to give him 60, but we are looking for murder numbers on this kid. And I was like, that's when I knew it was real. And their first offer was 30 years. And let me break it down to you. When they say 30 years, that's 30 years broken down. It doesn't necessarily always mean 30 years in prison. So they meant a 30-year sentence. Like I right now am serving a 20-year sentence, but only 12 of it was prison time. So the 30-year sentence they first offered was 30. They wanted 18 of it to be prison time. And I was like, of course not. I'm not doing 18 years in prison for selling drugs. But, I mean, after going back and forth for a while, I got to 12. And still 12 years is a long time to be sitting in jail for selling drugs. And my lawyer made it seem like I should be grateful that I'm sitting in jail for only 12 years and that I got my money's worth, you know. He charged me $10,000 to give me 12 years in prison. And I just was like, this is crazy, you know. I didn't think that was possible. And so when I read things about how they're trying to lessen the punishment, I fully support it, you know, because like I said, you make the environment more dangerous when you take away somebody's hope for freedom. they're trying to fight against someone that wants to lessen the punishment for non-violent crimes, it lets me know whose side I'm really on, you know, and who I need to be supporting. Because I don't really believe the answer is always as cut and dry as let's just put them all in cages and lock them up, you know. It's really not fair for you to have somebody that's in jail that hasn't hurt anyone to be having to live in a cell with someone that's not going home because he's taken numerous lives. Like, what kind of classification system are we doing? And where does my safety fall in this classification? So it's just a little eye-opener for me, you know, and hopefully for you too. If you haven't done by now, show me some love by hitting the subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at wes.smith.129. I'm on Facebook at Wes Smith, Wes without the T, Wes.Smith. And until next time, peace.